Welcome. This is my entry into the Swole Jole 500 squat challenge. Not that it's really an entry or a challenge, or I don't even know if I qualify. I'll get into it. So, I saw this video. Well, first, I saw this channel, Swole Jole. Shout out to Swole Jole. I will link to him in the description. And he said he was having some problems with, I don't know, his pelvis or something. He was having problems squatting heavy weights, right? And he decided he was going to do a bunch of body weight squats. His version of the Swole Jole 500 squat challenge is something like this, from what I understand. He did 25 body weight squats, 1 minute break, then another 25 and a minute break, roughly. And this for 20 sets. 25 times 20 equals 500 squats. And that's the Swole Jole 500 squat challenge from Swole Jole himself. He said he didn't think anyone watching this will actually do the challenge, and maybe he was right until now. Maybe he was right 2 years ago when he posted that. And maybe he's still right. Honestly, I didn't do the challenge his way. I just decided something got to me. Him saying, like, nobody watching this is gonna actually do it. That kind of annoyed me. And so I really didn't want to do this. And I kept making excuses to myself, like, I'm not gonna do it today. I watched the video yesterday, by the way. I watched it yesterday and I was thinking, oh, I could try that out. I've done similar things before, so I could try it out. And I was thinking maybe in a few days, squat every day, 225 is coming up. And for day 225, it'd be real cool if I squatted 225 pounds, right? I was thinking I don't want to compromise myself or anything. Blah, blah, blah. Excuses, right? And so today comes along and I kind of don't do much for the whole day. I mean, I did my pull-ups and my planks and my push-ups and all that stuff, but I didn't do any squats, and I still haven't finished writing my fitness program, so basically every day is a big question mark. What am I going to do? And it just hit me. I already knew I'm going to do these 500 squats, and so that's what I did. I decided I'll just knock out 500 squats, call it the Swole Jole 500 squat challenge, and call it a day, basically. And then I thought of this other guy, K Bogues. I will link him in the description as well. K Bogues, cool guy. Uh, he does a lot of interesting things. He makes a lot of YouTube videos as well. And the first person I ever saw do really high rep squats was this guy, K Bogues. He's actually the one who motivated me to do high rep squats myself for the first time. He mentioned before that the most he'd ever done is like 525 or something along those lines. And maybe he's done more now. I know that was a few years ago, but I had that in my mind, and it actually came up in my feed a few days ago, the K Bogues 525 squats in a row. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to one up him while I'm at it. I'm just going to one up him a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit more squats than him. And I've already done this. I've done 701 squats in a row. I did that over the summer on a broken foot. So today was just, there was something in me that just didn't sit right. It was just frustrated. And so I decided I'd take on this challenge. I decided I'm not going to do any rest time. I'm just going to go straight at it. Straight at it, 500 squats in a row. And that is a lot of squats. It's much easier said than done. Even though I've done this before, I've done more than 500 squats twice before, it's still not a super easy task. And yesterday I went on a run, which, mind you, I am not a runner. I would never claim to be a runner. I went on a 4.3 mile run and I could really feel it in my lower back yesterday. It's just not used to running. And today I felt good. I felt actually recovered, surprisingly. And I really thought nothing of it. I actually totally forgot about that run yesterday until I started squatting. Now, I've got a lot of experience with high rep squats at this point. I've done sets of 50 hundreds of times. I've done sets of 100, maybe over 100 times. I've done sets more than 200, more than, I've done a lot of squats with my body weight, is what I'm trying to say. And so I figured, oh, I'll be fine. And then around 80, I noticed, wow, my lower back is kind of stiff. It's kind of sore. And then I got to 100 and I thought, wow, this is really uncomfortable, actually. This is no fun at all. And then I got to 120 and I realized I did a lot of running yesterday for someone who is not a runner, and that took a toll on my lower back. I don't know what it is about running, but for some reason, it just makes my lower back sore. And to add on to that, doing these squats, if you go below parallel, from my experience, if you go below parallel in the squat, your lower back is going to basically bend a little bit. It's going to bend, and I think the term, what people usually call butt wink, is this. Your butt kind of moves. I can't really explain it. I don't know how to explain it, but your butt kind of goes forward. Like your pelvis kind of goes forward instead of straight back and down, just based on the dynamics of movement. I wish I could explain it better, but the deeper you go into the squat, basically, the further forward your butt goes. When you start your squat, your butt goes back. And then if you do a really deep squat, your butt will actually start going back towards the middle of your center of gravity again. And I don't know why this is, but it is. And because of the way your rear will move forward, this will naturally cause some bending, some bendage in the lower back. And I've noticed this even on sets of 100, like deep squats, you really start to get a stretch and a feel in your lower back just because there's a lot of blood going through that area and those muscles are getting worked as well. Those muscles are getting stretched and they're getting worked. And that is a big factor today. I was a little bit sore already from the running yesterday, and just doing these squats put a lot of strain on my lower back. It's no fun. Now, how many squats did I actually do? To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure. If I had to make an educated guess, I would guess that I did 530 squats today. I initially wanted to go towards 500. Like I said, I just wanted to do the Swole Jole 500 squat challenge, by my own rules. And then around some number, I don't know, I think 304 maybe, I double counted. So I think I counted 304 twice, and then I stopped at 320 or 321, and I stretched my lower back a little bit just because it was really like aching at that point. And then I kept going, and maybe after another 50, I miscounted again, and I think I double counted again. So maybe I got 2 extra reps in there. And then again in the 400s, I double counted. And so in total, I believe I did 530 squats. I counted to 527. I decided 527 is a good number to end on just because it's a little bit more than K Bogues, and for some reason that was driving me today. I was just like, I want to do more than this guy. I don't care about the challenge so much. I just want to freaking show up today. And that's what I did. I aimed for 527 by the end of it. That's how many I counted. But I believe I double counted 3 times. So, like I said, if I had to guess, I would guess that I did 530 squats. I definitely went over the 500 squat number, so that was nice. Let me get a sip of water, and I want to change the topic a little bit. So, high rep squats. If you want to do high rep squats, I would highly recommend you start with something like the actual Swole Jole 500 squat challenge, where you do sets of 25 per se, and you take a little break, and then you continue. That would be the approach I would recommend someone take. If you're more advanced and you have some experience under your belt of high rep squats, it's definitely okay to just say, I'm going to do it my own way. Maybe you want to do sets of 50. Maybe you want to do sets of 100. I've done that before. I've done 5 sets of 100 squats, and that's not so bad. If you are much more experienced, go right ahead and do the whole thing. But be aware of the way your body feels, because there is quite a bit of time under tension doing this kind of challenge. And although I've never personally experienced this, I've heard that this is a place where injury can occur. From my experience, this is a place where you can make a lot of gains in your tendons, your ligaments. Doing this kind of challenge will put a lot of blood in places that usually don't get that much blood. Doing 500 squats in a row is essentially cardio. So that's something to consider as well. You are going to want to be breathing quite a lot. I personally will take a breath before every squat. I am practicing doing these just the same way that I would do a weighted barbell squat. I breathe in, I brace my core, I go down, perform the squat, And on the way up, I breathe out. And that's worked very well for me. I like this method of breathe in, brace, down, up, breathe out. Breathe in, brace, down, up, breathe out. That has been tried and true for me, and I believe a lot of other people. I'm not even sure what other way you could approach this. Since it is cardio, you do absolutely want to make sure that you're breathing because I haven't had experience with this, but you don't want to cramp up doing something like this. Really, you do not want that happening. Also, I'll say that this isn't honestly that bad on my legs. Maybe it's just because I've done so many sets of high rep squats up to this point that I'm fairly acclimated. I'm fairly accustomed to this kind of punishment. I don't know what to call it, punishment or training. I'm fairly used to this, so it's not too much of a challenge on my legs. I'm also pacing myself quite well. Normally, I would do a set of 100 squats in 4 minutes or less, but if you do some math on this one and you say, let's say I completed this in 22 minutes and 40 seconds, which I believe was the time of the edited down footage without the start, just the ending. Well, with the start, I started recording and then I walked into position and then I started squatting and I just cut off that first part. I basically just edited it so that it starts right when I start squatting. If you take it at that value and say that I squatted for 22 minutes and 40 seconds, divide that by 500. It's honestly really awful math because I don't even know how many squats I did. Okay, so that's about a 4.5 minute pace per 100 squats or per 106 squats. So yeah, I'm going a little bit slower than my normal pace. I'm going like 20 seconds slower per 100 squats, or honestly, even more because I could get 100 squats done in 3 minutes and something. I'm not really sure what my normal pace is, honestly. Regardless, I'm pacing myself. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm pacing myself, I'm breathing, I'm being very cautious with each rep. I'm feeling how my body feels, and maybe because I was distracted by my sore, aching lower back, I didn't really notice my legs feeling that sore or anything. At worst, you kind of get out of breath doing this kind of thing because although it is like cardio, it's not exactly cardio. It's a little bit of a different type of movement. And so at the end, my pace slowed down significantly. I'm sure that's what it felt like. And also, I'm taking much more time to pause and breathe. And sometimes I'm breathing a few times. Sometimes I want to get some extra air in. So instead of just going breathe in, brace, down, up, breathe out, breathe in, brace, down, up, breathe out. When I go up, I'll take a few breaths and then I'll again breathe in, brace, down, up, breathe out, and keep going on. I would highly recommend anyone try this kind of challenge. If you have never done something like this, try 100 squats. Try 10 sets of 10 with a 30-second break in between. If you have a little more experience, go for 250 squats. If you have some more experience, go for 250 squats with less break. And honestly, I don't even think 500 is that big of a number for squats, for body weight squats. if you've got a bit of experience, go right ahead, try this challenge out. Once again, shout out to Swole Jole. I kind of don't even want to shout him out because I didn't really want to do this challenge. I just kind of felt personally called out by him to do this. So honestly, that's a good thing. Shout out to him for this challenge because if it weren't for him, I would not have done 500 plus squats today. I'd like to also shout out K Bogues for, the motivation, all the helpful advice, and overall, his channel has just been really useful to me for fitness purposes. I've learned a ton from this guy. He's very knowledgeable about a vast number of exercises and diet and recovery. And yeah, that's pretty much it about him. Like I said, I will link to both of those guys in the description. And that's pretty much it. I did 530 body weight squats today. I might be feeling it tomorrow. Today is squat every day. 224 again. Honestly, I was kind of wanting to take it easy. I was really wanting to take it easy today. Just take it easy. Go for the bare minimum 100 body weight squats, call it a day. But something in me just would not have it. So that was it. I decided to do the challenge, and the rest is history. Tomorrow is day 225 of squat every day again, and I'd really like to lift 205 pounds in the barbell back squat. I don't know if that'll happen. I'd sure like it to. Maybe that's too predictable of me. I really don't want to do 225 body weight squats for squat every day, 225. So that is not going to happen. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with some more squats tomorrow. Bye.